The 2014-15 season was his masterpiece. With Neymar and Suarez, the MSN trio won the treble, Spain's league, the Cup, and the Champions League. Messi finished the year with nearly 60 goals and 27 assists.
58 goals, 26 assists. And when you add them together, I'm sure it looks crazy. And this is my problem with the modern era of football. People are always constantly trying to combine goals and assists to make the players seem more amazing than what they actually are. But when you look at this era of Messi, this era of Messi, just the goals alone looks crazy. Just the assists alone look crazy. You don't even have to combine the two to sell this player to me. Already I can see just by picking one side that he's a world-class footballer. But when it comes to people like Bruno, who maybe scores 8 goals, 5 of them were penalties, and then maybe has 6 assists, people are not going to tell me he has 8 goals. People are going to instead present him as a creative machine and tell me he has about 13 GA, and they'll say, yo, he's amazing, he's a playmaker, when in reality that's not the case. But whatever.
It was football at its most beautiful, fast, fluid, and unstoppable. This was the calm, intelligent version of Messi. Less chaos, more control. He didn't need to run at everyone anymore. He just needed one look, one pass, one moment. Playmaker Messi was proof that even after reaching the top, he could reinvent himself again and somehow get even better. Captain Messi.
See this version here. I think this is my favorite version of Messi. This is my favorite version of Messi because this is where I saw that, no man, this guy, he's actually like the big dog at this club, because he was alone. He was alone. He was playing with people like Braithwaite, that whole crop of scrubs and shit. Even Dembele at the time, who was injury prone. I know Dembele was never really a scrub, but the fact that he was constantly injured, it just showed they couldn't rely on him. Messi was basically their only guy there. But like this version of Messi, man, he was a joke.
2018, Messi was no longer the young prodigy or the unstoppable goal machine. He was something deeper, a leader, a captain, and the last spark of Barcelona's golden generation. The team around him was changing fast. Xavi and Iniesta were gone. New managers kept coming and going, and the club's problems off the pitch began to show. Barcelona were no longer the perfect machine they once were, but Messi stayed. He carried them almost single-handedly. When they needed a goal, he provided it. When they needed hope, he created it. Sometimes...
I mean, did you see the background? Arthur at the back. And I'm not saying Arthur is a scrub, but compared to people like Xavi and Iniesta, come on, that's a big downgrade.
It felt like Messi versus the world. There were heartbreaks, painful ones. The 3-0 loss to Liverpool in the Champions League. The humiliating...
And that 4-0 against Liverpool. He still had a good game. If you actually watched the game, you could see, man, this guy was still doing things, even though Liverpool took them to the cleaners, you know, they embarrassed them, but Messi was still balling, man. And the game before, Dembele, one-on-one with the goalkeeper, messed it all up, ruining their chances, because if Dembele scored, the game would have been over, but Liverpool would have not have caught up, but again, whatever. But the way he carried Barca, man, that season.
8-2 defeat
that season, that era.
Munich. Moments that would have broken anyone else. But Messi never walked away. Instead, he became more human, more emotional. He didn't run as much as before, but every touch was precise. He'd wait, slow the game down, then strike with perfect timing. It wasn't about speed anymore. It was about wisdom. And on the international stage, something beautiful finally happened. After years of coming close, Messi led Argentina to victory in the 2021 Copa America,
finally
beating Brazil in their own country. When the final whistle blew, he dropped...
Okay, with Argentina, man, shout out to Di Maria, because Di Maria is one of the coldest footballers as well. Nasty footballer, man. Having him as a partner in Argentina was a huge plus. But yeah, man, shout out Di Maria. I don't want us to brush past the fact that Di Maria was there, you know. Let's not give all the praise to Lionel Messi. That Argentina team was also, you know, filled with ballers.
To his knees, surrounded by teammates in tears. For the first time, Messi wasn't just their superstar, he was their leader. Captain Messi was calm, patient, and relentless. He had been through failure, doubt, and heartbreak, and turned them into strength. This was the version that showed the world not just Messi the player, but Messi the man. World champion, Every great story has a final chapter.
World champion. This is where he officially cemented himself as the GOAT. You know, we've all had our opinions where some of us were saying CR7 is the GOAT, some were saying Messi, some people were even saying Maradona's and Zidane's and all that. But I can't pick those guys because I never watched them. But, you know, people from that era have their case and I respect that. But for me, the fact that he got a World Cup, that cemented him as the GOAT in my eyes, because now you can't chat to him. Every category he has achieved it, you know, from club football to international football to personal achievements. He killed it all. Even the numbers were crazy. And the fact that he was matching CR7, okay, not really matching him, but keeping up with him with less games played, official GOAT. His goals to game ratio was crazy. And the fact that when you watch him, he still had the magic. Come on.
One felt written by destiny. By 2022, Messi had done almost everything. He'd broken records, won every club trophy, and inspired millions. But one dream still remained, the World Cup. For Argentina, it had been decades of pain and heartbreak. They'd come close so many times, but never reached the finish line. Now, at 35 years old, Messi had one last chance. At the World Cup in Qatar, he looked different, not in skill, but in energy. He didn't run constantly anymore. He walked, studied, and waited, reading the game like a grandmaster waiting for the perfect move. And when the moment came, he would strike with precision. Every match felt like fate pulling.
And also shout out to Julian Alvarez, you know. I know a lot of people don't really mention him and how important he was in that World Cup tournament, but he was crucial as well. I think he scored the most goals. If not, he was about the same as Lionel Messi or just under. But he was crucial to them, man. He was like their outlet. And he was constantly making the movements for Lionel Messi to play those balls into him. You know, brilliant, brilliant. Even Di Maria, you know Di Maria. There's nothing more to say. Di Maria is just sorcery, magician, footballer.
Him forward. Against Mexico, he scored a goal that lifted a nation. Against Croatia, he twisted and turned through defenders half his age. And in the final against France, he gave one of the greatest performances ever seen, scoring twice.
I don't know why Mbappe decided to turn up. He was feeling like a hater that day because the game should have been done in the 90 minutes, but Mbappe just somehow he just switched it on and turned into like a serious problem. This is why he deserves to play for a club like Real Madrid, because he showed that he can carry a team on his own, especially when his team needs him. You know, he showed maturity, he showed quality, and he showed like confidence, which is what you need to represent big teams and play in big international tournaments, you know. So yeah, man, shout out to Mbappe. If France won that World Cup, the amount of achievements he would have had, winning 2 World Cups at his age would have been crazy. I think Pele had 2 by then, but I'm not sure. You know, I should actually look that up, but I'm not sure. But yeah, man, that would have been crazy.
And leading his team through pure
chaos. A hat-trick in a final.
Finally won, and Messi lifted the World Cup, the world stood still. It wasn't just a trophy, it was closure. The boy who once looked too small, too quiet, too fragile, had conquered the biggest stage of all. Tears, smiles, and fireworks filled the air. In that moment, Messi didn't just win a title, he completed football. World champion Messi, the fairy tale ending to the greatest career the sport has ever known. Global icon. After lifting the World Cup.
Okay, you see this version of Messi, I haven't really watched because MLS games, I don't really have access to them. Or maybe they play on YouTube and I just haven't been searching them, but maybe I can catch a game on YouTube. But I don't know, man, I'm just not interested. You know, I haven't seen what he's been doing. The only thing I see is highlights here and there. I recently watched the goal catalog, like I said earlier in the video, of this version of Messi, and the goals I was seeing, man, they were crazy, world class. But I just know, based on what I've seen over the years from this guy, he's killing it in that league. There's no way he's struggling over there. I don't know where they are on the standings in their league. I don't know if... Oh, actually, I know that they won a cup tournament there, but I don't remember if it was last season or this season. I don't even know when their season ends, because how can you be awarded the top goal scorer in October? So maybe their season is already over, you know, which is a bit weird for me. But yeah, man, I need to watch this guy for Inter Miami more often. I saw a few games in the Club World Cup, the one against Porto, and I could see the quality, you know, but then the games in MLS I haven't really watched. But yeah.
Messi could have walked away from football forever and no one would have blamed him. He had completed every dream, broken every record, and silenced every doubt. But instead, he chose to start a new chapter. In 2023, Messi moved to Inter Miami in the United States, not for trophies or money, but for joy, for freedom, for the love of the game. When he arrived, stadiums filled within minutes. Fans cried just seeing him walk onto the pitch. Children who had never watched European football were suddenly wearing pink shirts with his name on the back. And even in a new league, far from the spotlight of Europe, the magic followed him. Free kicks still curled perfectly into corners.
And that free kick was his first game. Imagine, you just arrived in the league, you're chasing a game, you get a free kick, and you hit that in the last minute. Come on now. That's the best start you can possibly have in a new league. GOAT.
Defenders still froze when he glided past them. But now, the joy felt different. He wasn't proving anything anymore. He was sharing the beauty of football with a whole new audience. Off the pitch, his influence only grew. He became a global ambassador for the sport, inspiring millions of young players and helping football grow across continents. He'd already been the greatest. Now, he was becoming the most beloved. This version of Messi is calm, content, and human. He laughs more, smiles more, and plays with peace in his eyes. From the streets of Rosario to the lights of Miami.
And I saw a picture on Instagram saying he extended his contract at Inter Miami, and he also decided he's going to play in the World Cup. So, and he said he's also chasing 1,000 goals. I don't know if the picture is true or not, you know, because sometimes people just say nonsense and put their names, you know, in such pictures, but maybe it's true. And if it is true, man, it just shows the hunger this guy has.
Messi's journey isn't just about greatness. It's about love, resilience, and the power of never giving up on your dream. He is no longer just a footballer. He is a symbol, a global icon whose story will be told for generations. Thank you for watching, and if you enjoyed this video, you will love this one.
Great video, man.